Good afternoon, good morning to you all. I'm honored to be invited to give the keynote address at this Africa FinTech Festival. As a preamble, you might wish to know that Sub-Saharan Africa is undergoing a digital transformation, and according to the International Monetary Fund, internet penetration in Sub-Saharan Africa has grown tenfold since the early 2000s, compared with a mere threefold increase in the rest of the world. So, as background information, it should be taken into account that globalization, technology advancement, new production, as well as efficient transport systems have expanded supply, marketing, and consumption processes from concentration in one geographical area also to numerous business channels within the continent. So basically, this is a direct response to competition, fast move advantages, and strengthening positions in markets. But you may also further wish to know that Africa has opened more doors to key parties in the international market who seek to accelerate their access to continental markets. Ladies and gentlemen, digital financial inclusion is currently driving the reform agenda in Africa, and it is also widely recognized as one of the most important engines in as far as economic development is concerned. So basically, it's in contributions to GDP and business creation and expansion, particularly to micro, small, and medium enterprises. So for regulators like central banks, financial inclusion issue matters a lot as it has implications on monetary and financial stability, which are the policy areas at heart of central banking. We are likely to witness an increase of financial inclusion due to policy priority and the emergence of technology such as mobile financial services, which is reducing transaction costs and also increasing outreach to micro, small, and medium enterprises within the continent. Mobile and digital technologies provided by fintechs and telcos are increasing, allowing more people to have access to digital financial services who would otherwise be excluded from the traditional, excluded and underserved group. In general, the global financial system is poisoned for unprecedented innovation, but technology progress alone cannot fuel financial inclusion and cannot be achieved through the effort of one party alone. To sustain the efforts of the growing private sector and to extend the reach to the wider target group, it takes concerted efforts from multiple players, entrepreneurs, investors, policymakers, and consumers. It is also important to note that an inclusive digital economy needs to connect poor and newly banked households to the merchants, schools, clinics, governments, employers they interact with. This is central to building the value proposition for poor people to open and use digital accounts. This keeps digital money useful as a financial management tool in activities of daily life. Secondly, people at the bottom of the financial pyramid are often the owners of small enterprises, and they largely have been left out of the digital economy and operate using digital tools for inventory management, supplier transactions, and customers. So smallholder farmers, one of the most fundamental prices, are often women and traders who live in circumstances for pure livelihoods and quality of life need for such marginalized communities. Ladies and gentlemen, digital financial services needs enabling environment for implementation operation. The absence of an overarching policy framework to support digital financial services create uncertainty and undermines the case for diversity and investment. As such, developing the continental policy regulatory framework is a priority for African member states. The goal is to harmonize the existing strong policy frameworks at a continental level, development of affordable digital financial services. Today, we have an opportunity the policy environment towards the direction to support digital financial services. As COMESA Business Council, we've been involved in quite a number of aspects. Firstly, we had to do the business case for the micro, small, and medium enterprises, but also we had to do the policy framework and currently working on the business model. But suffice to say that we are doing all the efforts to make sure that all the policymakers are together to make sure that there is a greater collaboration so that people are able to access digital financial services. Ladies and gentlemen, the private sector, you may should know that the private sector has a role to play in ensuring business-friendly environment and legislation to promote enterprise development and investment. Suffice to further mention that the dominance of digital trade presents clear opportunities for Africa, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, by providing more efficient leakage systems. Cutting the lead trade along the systems and providing more opportunities along the regional as well as the continental supply chain networks. It is also important to note that your next buyer or supplier is actually a quick way taking into account that we can actually create our own e-commerce platforms and also increase the efficiency in as far as cross-border trade is concerned within Africa as a continent. In addition, you may also further wish to know that there are numerous regulatory efforts across member states to support innovation. So I'll give an example of the booming insurance industry, probably in countries like Kenya and also other countries which are meeting the needs of the populace. Basically, this brings the potential for socioeconomic growth in various member states. Uh, Distinguished delegates, as my final remarks, let us bear in our minds that the rapid pace of growth in digital financial services require regulators, number one. Number two, it will also require even policymakers to be proactive in as far as engaging the industry is concerned so that we ensure that while new innovations expand the reach of financial channels, potential risks that are to consumer protection, inclusion, market integrity, investor influence, financial stability are also adequately addressed. In wrapping up, let us also not forget the aspect of regulatory sandbox licenses. That is there to cater for the absence of regulations, basically without hindering the development, as well as release of innovative solutions, while being mindful of the need to promote consumers and the reputation, as well as the economy of the various jurisdictions. With these few remarks, I thank you all for your attention. Thank you very much.